Welcome back to NCBA's Cattlemen and Cattlemen as we hear from the experts at Alltech on the latest strategies for ensuring cattle get the proper nutrition. Guys, let's talk about the topic on the minds of so many people, and that's the veterinary feed directive that was implemented the first of the year. I just ask, how is that impacting producers and what options do they have?
Yeah, I'll jump in with that. You know, to some producers it's become kind of news, but realistically this has been coming down the pipe for 18 months, 2 years. And so in our practice we've been aggressively getting prepared for this for the last 18 months and finding ways to help our producers document the great job that they do. Because I think as an industry, on the beef side of things, we do a great job of stewarding the antimicrobials that we've been tasked with to use in production food animal to treat disease. And it's moving those producers to get to document that great job that I find most of my farms do, is the shift. And so it's more regulation, it's more paperwork, but it's not anything that has really changed the practices on a lot of the farms I work with. We just got to do a better job of documenting it.
Yeah.
I think, you know, from another practical aspect, it gives some of these ranchers an opportunity to reevaluate what they're doing. That do we actually truly need these antibiotics in our feeds, or have we been doing it just because we've always done it in the past? And if that's the case, then we can encourage them to either to reevaluate the use of these antimicrobials or look for alternatives that are out there that are really viable alternatives that make things work.
Those are the conversations I've been having on a lot of farms as we've done this, is why are we doing it, and are there other things that we can be doing that would do better or do the same job using different technology?
There you go. What are our options now that we're doing it?
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, and I think it's forcing people to ask that question. What are our other alternatives and options? Not just hit the easy button, something we've done for years and years, but really explore, you know, how we can prevent some of these issues from the onset, right?
Yeah.
You know, I know we can. Today we have measurement technology to measure so many things, and I guess I would ask you, what is research telling you, Dr. Newsom, in terms of the kinds of things that we can measure in getting that calf set up for a healthy life?
Well, I'm going to let Randy jump on that one
Sure.
first, because Alltech's got some neat technology.
Actually we do. Alltech has a Nutrigenomics lab, and of course everybody knows we've looked at the bovine genome for a while now, and we can actually use that microarray or that gene chip as we know it, and we can take something like nutrition that Doc's doing and see what genes we're upregulating and downregulating within the animal. So it gives us an idea of how we can tweak things, put maybe some different combinations of things together to change different facets of animal production. So it may be immunological, it may be looking at average daily gains and overall health, feed conversion, feed efficiency, things of that nature. So I mean, it's really exciing. It's probably the neatest thing I've seen come along in our industry in a long time.
It's pretty neat to be able to measure that.
And the timing with the VFD now really brings it into its forefront and why we really need it, and put that focus on nutrition and gut health.
So as we talk about nutrition and gut health, we got to talk about Bio-Mos, right? And so I'm curious, what is the research telling us relative to the advantages of Bio-Mos?
You know, in Florida, we've done some research with Bio-Mos, sponsored by Alltech, a couple different years, utilizing it in freshly weaned calves during a backgrounding period, comparing that to the use of antibiotics to get those calves through that weaning stress, particularly when we're weaning in Florida in September. It is hot, it is muggy, and it is muddy, and so we've got a lot of stress on those calves. And Bio-Mos, compared to the antibiotic that we would normally routinely use, 1 year was superior to the use of the antibiotic, and the next year was just as good. So what that tells us is the Bio-Mos product is a comparable product to a routine antibiotic, and so it tells us it's probably a viable replacement in a lot of situations for using an antibiotic and not having to go through a VFD process.
That's amazing. So tell us how Bio-Mos actually improves gut health in cows and calves. I mean, how does it work?
Well, the gram-negative pathogens, for starters, are attracted to this mannose sugar, if you will. So it locks up with a gram-negative pathogen. Now that pathogen's not attaching itself to the gut wall, absorbing nutrients, giving off toxins. It's going out the tail end of the animal in the feces. And that was really the hallmark, or the trademark of Bio-Mos, was this gram-negative pathogen binding, which it does do. What's interesting is what it truly does for the immune system as well. So we've got improved immunoglobulin status. for example. We talked about the gut as a functioning immune system. So we're trying to keep those villi healthy in the gut so we can maximize nutrient absorption at all levels. That's primarily what we're getting accomplished. And we're, with that healthy gut, we've got an immune system that's really working. It's like Matt said, we could take the antibiotics out of the diet in the work that he did and use Bio-Mos and come out ahead on performance parameters.
That's really exciting.